Hello and welcome. My name is Raziel. Now, a lot of people complain, and rightfully so, that Games Workshop and Warhammer is too expensive. Now, this is a very valid complaint. But first, I need to bring up Kill Team. It is the cheapest skirmish game on the market, and it's pretty good, and it's worth its value for money. Now, if we compare that to the expansion, which is £100, that is when we start seeing problems with Games Workshop. Now, having the expansion be more expensive than the starter set kind of shows the problem with Games Workshop. It's not that it's too expensive. A lot of the time it feels like you're not getting your money's worth. Now, this is where I think it's where the argument and discussion needs to be. When you buy a war game, are you getting your money's worth with it? Now, Kill Team's good because it's quite insular. You just need one box, the rules for that, and that's it, right? That's all you need to play Kill Team. And that's what I like about skirmish games. I like the fact that I don't need to build a big army. I just have to buy a single box, and then I can play the game. Warcry is the same, Kill Team, Wilderness Exodus, and now Kings of War Champions, and of course Conquest First Blood. You just need the one box, and you're good to go. Now, that's an exception. We cannot say that's the rule for Games Workshop. See, that's where the problem lies. Now, if you were to spend the same amount of money on the Warhammer 40k starter set, which isn't a good starter set, it's probably one of the worst ones. Again, it's the cheapest on the market, but it is one of the worst ones, especially if you're doing Space Marines. That's not all you need. See, this is where it doesn't feel like you're getting your money's worth. Yes, it's the same price as the Kill Team starter set, but the Kill Team starter set, it feels very insular. It feels very much in a vacuum of its own. You don't need anything else to do it. Whereas with Warhammer 40k, you do. You need the codex for your army. That's an extra 30 quid. And then, well, I think it's 35 quid. But here's where that problem lies. Codexes go out of date very quickly. Sometimes they're out of date, and this happened in 8th or 9th edition with the Codex Grey Knights. They were out of date. The Codex Grey Knights was out of date the day it was released. It was getting FAQs prior to its release. So you were buying a £35 book which is out of date already. See, it's this feeling you're not getting your money's worth because you're buying something out of date. And not only are you buying something out of date, it's a compulsory purchase for Warhammer 40k. And the same with Horus Heresy, same with Age of Sigmar. You have to buy these other books to play your army. So you're not buying a complete set. You're not buying into the game. You're buying part of it, which then needs extra purchases. Now, I understand there are extra purchases you need for this hobby. You need paints, brushes, glues, etc. But those are for part of the hobby. You can play grey and just glue them together. You can do that. So painting isn't entirely a necessity. Though that might be a bias by me because I'm not a big fan of painting. But again, you do not have to buy extra books. You don't have to buy anything else. And then when it comes to like apps, we all use Battlescribe. It's a great app for anyone, but I can't find 10th edition on it for love nor money. But it's a good app to have. And it's free. But also Mantic and Warlord and Conquest and Power Balance, I should say, all have their apps for free online, and you can use them for free online on your phone. You don't have to pay anything extra to build your army. There are limitations with Mantic. I think it's 1 or 2 armies per game. I mean, it's not great. It's better than Games Workshop, but you have to buy the codex to use the app for your army. I mean, if they just limited it, saying like, just pick an army, you can unlock all the rules for it, and that's it. Okay, that's your army. 2 armies or 1 army per game, whatever. That would have been a better thing than having to buy a codex to unlock the datasheets in the app. And this is what I mean. Which you again have to pay for to use as well. You have to pay for the app. You have to get Warhammer Plus to pay for the app. So once again, it's not this that it's too expensive per se. It's just doesn't feel like you're getting your money's worth. And that's where I think the biggest problem lies. When you look at other games, when you look at Bolt Action, when you look at World of Texas, Armored Clash, Dystopian Wars, Kings of War, Firefight, Conquest, The Last Argument Kings, whatever game you play, you buy that box and you know you can have everything you need from the off. You don't need to go out and buy anything else for your game. Kings of War, apparently you still need dice. Anyway, but this is where the problem comes in. When other companies are saying, like, you buy your box, you've got everything. You're like, great, I have my data sheets, I have my rule books, or the rules are free, and the data sheets are free online. All of that is free. Okay? And then when you go to War Games Workshop, again, the exception being Killzone at the moment, and you say, I want to build a Thousand Suns army for 40k. I need to buy the Thousand Suns, I need to buy the codex to go with it, and if I want to use the app, I have to buy Warhammer Plus. And all these extra purchases just makes it feel like it's not worth your money. And I think that pretty much comes down to it, because models and everything else, they are, again, very in price. Games Workshop has this weird pricing thing going on at the moment. Like, you can buy 20 Space Marines for 50 quid, or you can buy 5 for 35. And it's like, okay, I'm just going to buy the 20 Firstborn ones for 50 quid. Why would I spend, 5 for 30, 35, 40 quid? I'll just go Firstborn. But of course, they want to get rid of that because they don't like people doing the same models for different games. That's a joke. Anyway, but that's, like I said, this is where the problem lies. Problem lies isn't that it's not that it's just not too expensive. You're just not getting what you paid for. And a lot of this can change because other companies are showing how much this can change. When other companies, not as big as Games Workshop, are giving rules away for free, they're giving full rule books away for free. And I mean that, like including the lore in the rule books. You're just giving it all away. You can download it. Mantic quite often allow you to just pay for the postage on a rule book, and they will send you the rule book for free, a physical copy, which is a great idea. But then you go to, and all of that, so you're not having to pay anything extra. Even if you buy the starter set for 40k, chances are you still have to buy the full rulebook. Same with Age of Sigmar. So it's just that, it like I said, it feels like you're not getting your money's worth, and I think that's where a lot of the problems come from, where lots of it stems from. It's this feeling of being underappreciated. You feel like you've been bought into some sort of, let's say, I don't know what to say, pyramid scheme or something like that, but you constantly have to buy something new just to continue playing your game that you've already paid for. It's like that EA joke, we got the burger, it's one price. A burger by EA, you got the buns, which are extra, you've got the meat that's extra, etc., 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 right? That's what it feels like with Games Workshop. You've got the game, but you need to buy extra, extra, extra. And so you don't feel like you're getting your money's worth when you go into Warhammer. Whereas if you go into other games, you definitely feel like you've got your money's worth because you can play that game in its entirety without buying anything else. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you have a good day. I hope you're all having a lovely day today. And I'll see you all again soon in the next one. And if you wish to save money on your Warhammer or other war games, go down to Wayland Games down below and save up to 20% and free delivery up to £20. There's also Forbidden Planet with comics, DVDs, mangas. There's my merchandise, my comics, my mugs, t-shirts, all that cool stuff done by me. Like no one else. I do not employ anyone. That's all me. Skyforge, a good friend of mine. Let's just get him up that Google algorithm. And finally, Patreon, because business. Bye-bye.